Hi everyone, my name is Kyle Unziker and I'm the Director of Design at Autotroph. As the Director of Design, I handle mostly all things 2D across all Autotroph projects. So I handle branding, graphic design, web design, things like that. Autotroph is a new brand that we've introduced this year. However, our projects have played a role in the education and growth of the Blender community since 2008, when we first created CG Cookie, which is our online blending education platform. Fast forward to today, and we are proud to manage Blender Market, as well as our Blender consulting arm, Orange Turbine. We introduced the umbrella Autotroph brand because historically our company's name was CG Cookie, and we introduced Autotroph to differentiate between the CG Cookie educational platform from the overarching company that spearheads other Blender ventures like Blender Market, Orange Turbine, things like that. When we reflect on our own 15-year history, we've strived to be keenly aware of our obligations to the communities that we've been building, as well as our obligations to the Blender community at large. And so to illustrate how we've done this and how we will continue to do so, I want to highlight some opportunities that we've identified within Blender Market to start. So I want to start at the beginning and highlight the primary goal that we had in the creation of Blender Market. The primary goal of Blender Market was to give our community a trusted, independent platform for earning a living with the software that we all love, Blender. And we are humbled to say that Blender Market has begun to achieve this goal. So just looking at some very quick numbers, 2,600 different creators have achieved a sale that resulted in earnings. 9 creators have achieved over $1 million in earnings, and that 9 number is about to go up fairly soon. And in total, over $33 million has been paid to our creator community throughout the history of Blender Market. Another core construct we had in mind while building Blender Market was being mindful of the idea of profiting from free software and wanting to include a built-in way to allow creators to donate some of their earnings to the Blender Foundation and allow customers to know which products benefited the foundation. And so what we're looking at here is actually the very first mock-up of Blender Market that I created 10 years ago. Obviously things look a little different today, but the core idea and implementation works today almost exactly as it was designed 10 years ago. And again, just looking at some quick numbers, it's clear to see why we would be very proud of the generosity of our creator community. 49% of all products on Blender Market are contributing to the Dev Fund in some way. 69% of earning creators are contributing to the Dev Fund, and all told, over $700,000 has been donated to the Blender Dev Fund from our creators throughout the history of Blender Market, which is just fantastic. So what do we say when we mean, what do we mean when we say beyond business as usual? Well, obviously we're committed to seeing creator success grow and for Dev Fund contributions to grow. We have an active development roadmap to contribute fixes and new features. But to address what we mean by beyond business as usual, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. So we feel that the next opportunity directly in front of us is to uplift Blender itself. The health and growth of Blender will directly impact the health and growth of its communities, including ours. Since the beginning, we've been grateful to have a fruitful relationship with the Blender Foundation and its leaders, and it's given us the opportunity to ask, how can we help Blender? So the first is promoting the growth of individual development fund membership. So the Dev Fund exists to transparently communicate about the financial contributions that Blender receives and to enable the Blender project to grow. It relies on individual memberships of a small recurring donation as well as some corporate memberships. As of now, Blender Market contributes funds from creators in bulk every month. So this essentially means that the donations from creators happen indirectly. And in conversations with members of the foundation, we've come to learn about the importance of fostering direct relationships between creators and the development fund. So one thing we want to publicly commit to is having Blender Market play a role in encouraging direct relationships with the Dev Fund. So some of the things we're currently exploring are ways to have creators associate their Blender ID with their account, which will then allow us to display their membership badge on their store profile, perhaps as part of their avatar on product cards, etc. So we hope this would bring a lot more visibility to the Dev Fund, while again promoting those direct relationships and interactions between contributors and the Dev Fund. The next thing we want to look to going forward is uplifting the Blender brand. Without Blender, none of this exists. So that means we need to protect Blender, and not just with donations. We need to protect the brand itself. Because while Blender is a community project, the brand and trademark are not. And there are current guidelines from the Blender Foundation on usage of the Blender name, trademark, and brand. And these guidelines are very, very similar to other open source foundations, the Mozilla Foundation, the WordPress Foundation. You can see, in short, if you want to start a company or website related to Blender, avoid using the name Blender in it. You can, of course, use it as a secondary tagline, such as the Blender Specialists. Some exceptions might apply, for example, free accessible community sites, as well as websites that already exist for many years. Historically, we've benefited from the websites that exist for many years exception, and the Blender Foundation has been very gracious in letting us keep this exception. But because we've existed for many years, we feel we're in a unique position to lead by example to the ecosystem at large by helping the foundation achieve their goal of trademark governance. It's this respect for institutional autonomy that has led to the creation of Blender Market in the first place. Building a platform that allows Blender creators to establish and or grow their own brand and legacy, we feel it's only right to recognize that same autonomy within Blender. So yes, that does mean that there will be a new name for Blender Market in 2024. Obviously, we are aware that any rebranding process will greatly impact creators and customers. There's many logistics about how this will all roll out that we'll absolutely share with creators leading up to a rollout. But we felt that BCON LA was the perfect opportunity to announce our intentions and preview our name. So I won't keep you in suspense much longer. Here is the forthcoming new name for Blender Market. That's right. Later in 2024, Blender Market will become Superhive, the indie market for Blender creators. And a new name is step one of many in actually rolling out the rebrand and officially switching to the new name. So for much of the remaining year, BlenderMarket.com will remain unchanged as we outline logistics, and we'll keep our creator community informed. Just a little note on the name and the logo. As you can see, we've kept the B. Continuity was and is very important to us, and we're thrilled to be able to achieve a rebrand that allows us to retain an existing beloved logo like the B. A little bit about the name. So a superhive is actually a real thing. In beekeeping, it is an empty box placed above the existing boxes of the beehive in order to allow the colony to expand or store additional honey. So a superhive is literally an add-on to a beehive. So we're excited to achieve a name that, again, not only nods to our bee and B3D, but actually has a little bit of relevant literal meaning. So again, this mini reveal, it's been fun, if not maybe a little stress-inducing for some of you. Again, any rollout will be done in a transparent manner. Anything otherwise wouldn't be serving you, wouldn't be serving our customer community. But the primary takeaway we wanted to share with you is how community obligations change and evolve as the community itself grows and changes. And changing our name and identity is a big deal. It's been a 4-year conversation. And at the end of the day, we believe passionately in the Blender project and can speak from experience that serving the community is also an investment in your own well-being. The future of Blender-based businesses has never been brighter, and we're excited to establish a new name for ourselves for the love of and independence of Blender. Thank you.